Hi everyone, this is Sayoni of Scisphere. Welcome to another episode of Sai's Kitchen. For today, we are going to show you how to cook calderetang kambing. Let's get started. Caldereta is another favorite in the household. Most of the time, we do cook beef caldereta, but on special occasions like holidays and birthdays, that is when I cook the calderetang kambing. For calderetang kambing, we will be needing the following. Of course, the goat meat, potatoes, carrots, tomatoes, green olives, green peas, onions, bay leaves, garlic, and tomato sauce. So first, we need to marinate our goat meat. And goat meat, unlike beef, chicken, and pork, goat meat is a little bit gamey. So what we need to do is to soak it or marinate it with vinegar, salt, and pepper for at least an hour or 2 hours, just to make sure that we remove the odor. Before we go ahead and saute our goat meat, I have to, and this is a trick that I usually share with my friends when they ask me how come my potato and carrots are always tender but intact or crisp. So this is the trick. I always pan fry my potatoes and carrots before mixing it with the whole ingredients for my caldereta. So we are going to start with that. So I am going to pan fry the bell pepper, the potato, and the carrot. So that is just to add a little bit of nice texture to our vegetables. So when you pan fry the potato and the carrots, just maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, just enough for the edges of the potatoes and the carrots to get a little bit brown. So that would improve the texture and keep its form and shape even when it's tender. So we do not want half mashed potato and mashed carrots in our caldereta. So I am going to fry first the bell pepper. We do not want to overcook our bell pepper, just enough for the aroma or its scent to come out, and to make sure that we get to keep its shape and form and texture when we mix it later with the rest of the ingredients. After we fry it, we set it aside. So now we are going to fry our carrots. And again, just enough for the edges to get a little bit crisp or a little bit brown. But we do not want to overcook our carrots. So if you have been wondering how come every time you cook caldereta or any other dish and you find your tomato or your carrots partly mashed, then you might want to try this trick to make sure that they stay in shape. And now we will be frying our potato. Again, here we just want the sides and the edges of our potato to get partially cooked. Now that we're done pan frying the potatoes, carrots, and bell pepper, we are going to saute our onion and garlic. So I usually start with the onion because the onion, as it gets cooked, it tends to get sweeter. But the garlic, if you overcook it, and once it gets burnt, it turns bitter. So I usually, depending on how long do I need to saute them, I usually start with the onion. You would know when it's ready because you would feel the spice rising and feel like crying. And then we add our garlic. And by the way, I already drained the meat, and now I am going to add the meat. Some friends told me that if you want to remove the odor and want to skip using vinegar, you can also use Mallorca, but personally I have not tried it. So we saute it just for a few minutes until it turns a little bit golden brown. For the complete list of ingredients with measurements, you can check the video description below. Right now, I am cooking 2 kilos of goat meat, but the proportion that I will be providing in the description would be for 2 pounds or about 1 kilo of meat. And usually while I saute it, that's the time that I also add a little bit of salt. Just a little bit because I already put some salt when I marinated a while ago. After we add our meat, we can go ahead and add the tomato. Now, several ways of doing here. Some people, when they saute the garlic and the onion, then they add the tomato. But me, I want to add the meat first because I do not want the tomato to be already cooked when I add the meat. I liked it when the juice of the tomato goes together with or goes directly to the meat when I mix them. As soon as you see that your meat has turned into a little bit brown, then you can go ahead and add your tomato sauce. I usually do not put all the tomato sauce. I leave some for later because I want it to be thick. Then we can go ahead and add our hot water. So I always use hot water because the meat is in hot temperature. So if you are going to add a cold water, it's going to harden the meat. So we make sure that we do not disrupt the temperature inside the pan. So we're gonna let it boil and wait for the meat to get tender. Maybe 40 minutes to an hour, depending on the kind of meat that you have. So let's cover this and just come back to it after 45 minutes. So we are checking and our meat is now tender. So we can go ahead and add our carrots and potatoes. So we add first the carrots. And usually I add the carrots and after a few minutes, that's when I follow the potatoes because the potatoes gets cooked easily or faster than the carrots. But for this case, my carrots are smaller than my potatoes. So I will just go ahead and add them at the same time. Okay, so we will let it boil for a few minutes, just enough for our carrots and potatoes to get cooked. So maybe another 10 to 15 minutes. Now our potatoes is about cooked, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the remaining tomato sauce. And it helps when you add the remaining tomato sauce when the meat is tender rather than adding all the tomato sauce and you end up adding more water because your meat is not yet tender. I will go ahead and add a little bit of brown sugar. This is just an option, but I usually do it just to balance the sour taste of the tomato sauce. Sometimes, well, most of the times it gives sour taste, so the brown sugar would help to counter that taste. And you can just go ahead and add a little bit of salt later. We will be adding the remaining ingredients. So I will add here the green olives. It's pitted. I like the combination. So if you don't have any green olives available, you can just go ahead and use the green peas. And then your bay leaves and the bell pepper that we pan-fried earlier. I will just have this simmer and then we are going to add later the peanut butter. Now you have several options here. You can use liver spread or peanut butter. Lately, I do not know, for whatever reason, it's so hard to find liver spread and I do not have the time to make my own. If you do not have the time, you can just go ahead and experiment using peanut butter. So we'll cover this and just wait for it to simmer. And now we are going to add our peanut butter. And I am so excited. Tomorrow is the birthday of my dear cousin, and that is why I am making this special caldereta. Presenting to you our calderetang kambing. Thank you for joining us today. See you next time.